back to the Cougar Connection podcast. Today we are talking to the January Teacher of the Month, Mr. Allen. Congratulations and thank you for spending some time with me today. So, we're going to start it off pretty simple. What inspired you to become a teacher?
I think I wanted to become a teacher just to build connections with students. I think that's probably the most important part of my job is getting to know students through FFA and ag classes. It has helped me considerably grow as a teacher. I think connections are important in everyday life, but even more so in high school and high schoolers' lives. I think it's important to build those connections and just help them grow as people.
Yeah, there's definitely been a lot of fun memories that I know me and my sister and my brother, I guess, have had in FFA on the white buses with you and Miss Bohannon and stuff like that. So it's always a fun time going on FFA trips.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely.
Oh yeah, and B-dubs.
Yeah,
Always
B dubs, always B dubs.
If you could change your grade level and your subject that you teach, what would you do?
Well, I definitely wouldn't change my grade level. I think uh, I started out doing grade school computers, and that was not for me.
You
I
did?
quickly realized that was not something that I should move on it with.
You did grade school computers?
Grade school computers
Oh goodness.
for a semester, but definitely. So I wouldn't change my grade level, but I've always appreciated English and literature. I had Miss Davis as an English teacher, and she was a great teacher and inspired me to take English serious. So I always excelled at the collegiate level in my English classes. That was kind of my area where I knew that I could just get an A in.
Yeah.
So I probably would, as weird as that sounds, I'd probably pick English because I appreciate it.
That is very weird. I couldn't see you in an English
I know.
classroom or anything.
Ask Miss Davis about Canterbury Tales. I was one in a million.
Canterbury Tales?
Absolutely.
Got it. I got it in my mind now. What life lessons has prepared you for like right now in your life?
Yeah, I saw this question and I immediately went to my father at a young age, probably 6, 7. He taught me that hard work probably is the most important thing you can do. You may not be smarter than everybody, you may not be more gifted in areas, but if you could just work, and really he was a driving force for that. We worked at a very young age, and he taught us that work ethic was crucial. And so I try and help kids along the way, and I do think that work ethic is probably something that is underrated in today's world.
Yeah.
And I think if kids just stick with something and work hard, they can be successful because there's not a lot of people that really want to, put their nose to the grindstone, if you will. And I think kids can be successful from that standpoint. So
Yeah.
that was what I thought of right when I saw that question.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't work hard, and if you work hard, that's all you need to succeed is hard work and everything. You don't need all the talent that everyone else has. You just have to work hard.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah.
You have some pretty infamous quotes here in the high school. What do you think is your like favorite quote? It doesn't have to be one of yours. It could be anything.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to use one of my quotes. But this quote I started with when I was young, teaching probably my first or second year here. I thought it applied to my ag industry and ag background. It's definitely Joe Dirt, life's a garden, dig it. That's my quote that I live by.
Life's a garden, dig it.
Right, Joe Dirt.
Go. That's exactly what people need to know too.
That's right.
All right. What was your very first job? So wait, you grew up here, went to high school here, graduated here. So were you just like on the farm? What'd you do?
Yeah, I basically stayed on the farm. My first full-time job was definitely Illini Central. Like I said, I started as a computer teacher, just kind of a fill-in, while Mr. Eimer finished out his career here at Illini Central. I quickly realized that computers was not my endeavor, and got hired in probably right around 20 years ago as a high school ag teacher, and haven't looked back, and probably looking forward to another 15 plus years.
Yeah. Now, there's been times where we've been sitting in class and your computer's just really not giving you a great time, and then we have to come help you
Right.
because. But you would think if you were a computers teacher, you know how to.
Well, what I guess I'm using that word loosely. We did a lot of organ trail, a lot of keyboard typing. I don't necessarily would say that I was a computer teacher. I did a lot of Oregon Trail, by far the greatest game ever played.
I could never beat that game.
Always snake bites.
Always.
Terrible. How do you get past that river? I have no idea.
I don't know either.
It's crazy.
Apparently none of them did. Barely any of them did.
Yeah, I was no hope as a teacher.
Are there any traditions or superstitions or anything that you do? I know one day in particular, you have a whole bunch.
Whole bunch. Soils Day. So I take soils, really land use contests, really, really serious. And you know, I'm proud of that contest because I had an ag teacher once tell me that I would never win that contest until I got 10 years into my career. And matter of fact, he was right. I couldn't win that contest. But we have won it 9 years in a row. And I've had people say that with our kids, the talented kids that we've, and the way they buy into the soils contest, that we could probably win state. And I probably don't push state enough in that contest. But as far as superstitions go, every year I wear winter chicken dinner socks. Socks are very important to me. Like right now, I'm wearing Frank's Red Hot socks. It's the way I start my day every day.
Yeah.
I think the socks are really underrated. So I wear my winter chicken dinner socks, which are in rough shape. I mean, you can imagine 10-year socks that they only get brought out for Soils Day.
That's what I was gonna say. You almost have to only bring them out on Soils Day.
That's it. So I'm in desperate need of looking for some new winter chicken dinner
What
socks.
if they're
But
not the same?
that's true. My superstition might take charge and say you can't do it.
You might have to if they really just fell apart one day, you might have to cut them up and pin them to the inside of your shirt or something. Make sure they're still there.
I don't think I want to do that. I don't think I want to be that close to my socks.
Maybe. You can pin them to your
maybe
new
inside
socks.
of my jeans down at the bottom.
Yeah,
maybe
that'd be a good one. When I was in ag science class my sophomore year, that's who you usually teach most of the soil stuff to, and then other people go too because you need a bigger team than just 5 people.
Mm-hmm.
But you said that you eat soil every single day.
Yeah.
And the time that we learn soils to the time that we win soils.
Yep.
For cereal in the morning.
Yep. You gotta, in order for you to be able to truly become one with the soil, and we know we can't use the D word.
Yeah, the D word is
that's
not
off.
Very good.
That's not in Mr. Allen's vocabulary. It's important for you to really take that in and truly become one with the soil. So I find it necessary to eat a bowl of soil for breakfast.
Every single day.
Every single day.
During the soils time,
every single day. Yep.
Do you have any? Because you were big about agronomy too. Whenever I was in that class, do you have any superstitions for that?
No, not really, because I think where we live and the success we've had at Illini Central, I think FFA gets kind of pushed to the side. But I would say if you look outside of the state of Illinois, Illini Central is kind of a juggernaut when it comes to FFA. We win a lot of different contests, and especially where we live, we're a very ag-based community. So I think it's expected. I feel as being the teacher, that it should be expected that Illini Central win that contest every year, as well as if it's ag-based and especially corn and soybeans, Illini Central should be right towards the top. I've always thought that. We're always the school that brings the most corn and soybean samples to our fair. We just kind of push that. That's the area that we live in. So I don't have any superstitions when it comes to that one. Only soils, probably because it's so hard to learn that.
Yeah.
Being in that class and learning it.
Yeah, it's tough.
I think a lot of people just see it as, oh, you going out and looking at. There's a lot.
It's a lot that goes into it, actually, because it depends on where you're at. You could be 10 feet to the other way, and it's a whole different thing, and that's kind of what soils is, because there's just 4 different holes dug into a field somewhere.
Right, absolutely. And even where we live, if you look at the outline of the state of Illinois, uh, you couldn't find sand anywhere other than Mason County.
Mm-hmm.
And so that makes us unique in where we live. And I feel like we get an unfair advantage when soils comes to Mason County and we get to
Yeah.
kind of lay a whipping
Uh-huh.
on everybody.
Well, but then also whenever we have to go to them, they kind of get the unfair advantage. So
But we usually handle it.
we usually handle it pretty well.
Yep.
You guys were 9 years in a row. going
That's right.
strong.
That's
Going on
right.
10 this year. Let's go.
Let's go.
You apparently taught, we'll use that word lightly, technology
Uh-huh.
to elementary kids.
Yep.
And then now, after COVID, we've had to use technology a lot more these past, like, 4-ish years.
Absolutely.
How has that changed the way you've, like, taught?
Oh, I can think of exactly the moment. Our IT director, Mr. Worley, came in one time to a meeting and he said, "We're going to use this new format called Google Classroom." And in true Mr. Allen fashion, I was like, "Absolutely not. I will not be using that." But that has stuck with me, so it is like ingrained into my DNA. I don't pass out papers at all.
Mm-mm.
Not at all. I use Google Classroom 100%, and I love it. And if he ever comes in and says we're changing formats, I don't think I'll change. I love Google Classroom. It is like the
goodness.
perfect platform for a student, teacher to give assignments, to
Mhm.
receive assignments back, to grade them, to make alterations. It takes a lot of the work out of day-to-day teaching and education. So I love Google Classroom. I think that's one of the bright spots from COVID that has changed me as an educator, because I do all my finals on Google Classroom. I mean, I don't print any paper anymore.
Yeah.
So-
The last time, well, the last time I was in your class was sophomore year, but we only got papers for soils.
For soils, yep.
That's the only time we got papers. Everything else was online.
Yeah,
And
other
we
than that.
even like looked at the pictures and stuff on Google Classroom, but like we had to fill out the Scantron because you wanted to make sure we wouldn't freak out. So
Yeah. Let's save those trees, right?
yeah, save the trees. Once again, Mr. Allen, congratulations on your accomplishment, and thank you for taking the time to sit down with me today. I know it was a long time coming. Sorry about that, but hey, we're here
It's
now.
all right.
Make sure to look out for the next Cougar Connection podcast coming soon to you.